In the heart of the bustling metropolis of Crestwood, a hidden gem of a restaurant called Le Jardin Mystique stood as a testament to exclusivity. With its soft, ambient lighting and polished marble tables, it was a place where only a certain kind of clientele was welcomed, or so its staff believed. Among the staff was a waitress named Tiana, a woman with a sharp tongue and a sharper judgment. She considered herself a connoisseur of class, an expert at distinguishing the truly deserving from the unworthy. This evening, at precisely 8:17 p.m., her entire worldview was about to be challenged. The restaurant doors swung open, and in walked a woman who stopped Tiana mid-polish of her silver tray. Her name was Evelyn Reed. Evelyn was in her late 50s, with a posture as straight as a military officer's and a gaze that demanded respect without asking for it. She wore a fitted dark jacket, impeccably ironed jeans, and black leather boots. No expensive gown, no shimmering necklace. Just a quiet confidence that made Tiana mutter, "What the hell?" under her breath. The young hostess at the reception desk fidgeted nervously as Evelyn approached. "Reservation for Reed," Evelyn stated. "Table for one." Before the hostess could respond, Tiana stepped in, her smile a thin, painted line. "Excuse me, ma'am, but I think you've mistaken the place. This is not a casual eatery." Evelyn's eyes didn't waver. "My reservation was confirmed on Tuesday." "Of course, but you see," Tiana gestured vaguely, "our patrons typically maintain a certain standard. This isn't the kind of place where you come in with work boots and a leather jacket." Her words hung in the air, cold and condescending. She continued, "There's a buffet on Elm Street that might be more your style. Simpler, more comfortable for people like you." "People like me?" Evelyn repeated slowly, her voice calm. Tiana chuckled dismissively. "Yes, well, no offense, but we don't get many." She trailed off, her voice lowering. "Clients like you. Our diners are here for a specific experience, you understand? Tranquility, class. It's not just about paying the bill. It's about fitting in." A man at a nearby table raised an eyebrow. The air grew thick with tension. Evelyn's jaw tightened slightly, but her voice remained level. "Would you like to repeat that so everyone can hear?" Tiana's smirk widened. "Look, ma'am, if you insist, I can seat you on the back patio. No one will give you odd looks there. And I'll be quick with the menu. I know it could be a bit overwhelming when you're not used to this kind of food." Evelyn looked at her for a long moment. "Do you think I'm a joke?" "No, of course not. I'm just saying you might be more comfortable in a different setting. Everything here is so sophisticated. Sometimes it's just not for everyone." Evelyn took a deep breath. "You have no idea who you're talking to." "Oh, I think I do," Tiana sneered, her voice dropping to a harsh whisper. "A lonely old black woman who looks like she just came from a damn boot camp, now wanting to dine among decent people as if she has a right. We don't serve coal here. We're not a charity restaurant. Or did you think that just because you learned to fire a rifle, you can afford a $160 filet mignon?" A knot tightened in Evelyn's stomach. Her hands trembled, not from fear, but from a quiet, simmering rage. This wasn't the first time, but it was the worst. A tense silence fell over the restaurant. No one spoke. No one stood up. Just the clinking of glasses. Evelyn didn't defend herself. She just lowered her gaze, and in that gesture, something broke. Not in her, but in the onlookers. Here was a woman who had risked her life for a country that now made her feel like dirt in a fancy place. All because of the color of her skin. Evelyn slowly raised her head. "Are you finished?" Tiana smiled, satisfied. "I could go on, but if you want to continue with your little show, the door is right there." Evelyn calmly pulled out her phone. She didn't dial yet, but her stare made Tiana take a step back. "Keep serving. Finish what you started," Evelyn said in a low, controlled voice. Tiana swallowed hard. She didn't know what to do. She left and returned 20 minutes later with an artfully plated filet mignon, though it wasn't what Evelyn had ordered. Her face was alight with malicious glee. "Here you are, ma'am, the best of the house. In your honor." Then, Tiana feigned a trip. The plate flew forward, the hot sauce and pureed celery roots splashing onto Evelyn's jacket and the perfectly seared meat landing in her lap. The silence was immediate. Tiana gasped dramatically. "Oh my God, I'm so clumsy." "It was an accident, I swear." A man from another table stood up. "Are you all right, ma'am?" Evelyn didn't answer. She was frozen. The stains on her clothes didn't hurt, but the humiliation was a deep, old pain. She took a napkin, and as she dabbed at the red stain, her expression hardened. She finally opened her phone, her fingers trembling slightly, and pressed a contact. She didn't raise her voice or threaten. She simply gave an order and hung up. Tiana, still smirking, approached. "You know what? I'm sick of your act." With an arrogant yank, she snatched the phone. Evelyn's quiet no was too late. Tiana lifted the device and, with a clumsy smile, let it fall. The phone hit the marble floor and shattered. "Oops." Tiana feigned surprise. "Another accident. I'm so clumsy tonight, right?" Evelyn's eyes held a silent fire. Her hands clenched into fists under the table. Suddenly, the kitchen door burst open. The manager, Marcus, a tall man in a dark suit with a flushed face, strode into the room. He took in the spilled food, the shattered phone, and the tension in the room. "What happened here?" he demanded. Tiana quickly spun a tale of an unfortunate accident, but the testimony of a few brave customers revealed the truth. Marcus's face fell. "Ma'am, I would like to offer you my apologies," he said to Evelyn. "Don't apologize to me," Evelyn replied, her voice still calm. "Save it for your lawyer. You'll need it." She rose, her clothes stained, and walked out, leaving a trail of tense silence behind her. A waiter rushed up to Marcus. "Sir, there was a call on the landline. They asked for you by your full name, Marcus de la Croix. They said if you didn't answer now, the next call would be to someone higher up." Marcus paled. "Who called?" The waiter swallowed. "She just said she already called, and you're already on the list." Marcus's eyes widened. "Evelyn Reed," he whispered, a name suddenly sparking a distant memory. "If she is who I think she is, we just stepped on a landmine." In a dimly lit office, Tiana was smugly scrolling on her phone. Marcus slammed the door behind him and tossed a folder on the desk. "You're fired." Tiana's jaw dropped. "What? For her? She's crazy. She doesn't belong here." Marcus leaned in, his eyes blazing. "You have no idea who you just humiliated." He pulled up an article on his laptop. The headline read, "Retired Commander Evelyn Reed, the woman who dismantled trafficking rings and saved lives in Syria." Tiana froze. Marcus scrolled down. Congressional Medal of Honor recipient. First black woman to lead Central Command's Alpha 6 unit. Currently a security advisor for 3 multinational corporations and a board member on the National Council of Strategic Affairs. He looked at Tiana with disdain. "You treated her like garbage. A woman who has seen and survived things you can't even dream of. You threw food on her, broke her phone, and told her, 'We don't serve coal here.'" Tiana's arrogance evaporated, replaced by a cold dread. "Get out," Marcus said, pointing to the back door. "Now, before it gets a lot worse for you." 3 days later, Le Jardin mystique was not the same. Tiana was gone, and while her dismissal was quiet, the whispers were not. At 8:06 p.m., the door opened. Evelyn Reed walked in, not as a guest, but as a new owner. She stood in the center of the room, flanked by her lawyer and a man with a briefcase. Marcus hurried to her side. "Ms. Reed," he said, bowing his head. "Mr. de la Croix," she replied, her voice echoing through the silent room. "Last time I was here, I was told I didn't belong. Now I've returned, not as a customer, but as the new majority shareholder of this restaurant." A murmur swept through the diners. A glass shattered. Then a smattering of applause began, growing louder. Evelyn looked over the room, her gaze steady. "This restaurant has been acquired by a private investment firm. I now own 51% of the shares." She then turned and walked toward the stairs. "Now," she said, "let's put this place in order." She climbed the stairs, leaving behind a restaurant that was no longer just a place of luxury, but a symbol of dignity.